welcome to another episode of Mr. Badger Talks to Scum. I'm here today with a very close friend of mine. It's Mr. Leonard Bumfuck. How are you, Leonard?
I'm good, thanks, you daft bastard. I'm all right, yeah. I'm good for a Sunday. Is it Sunday today? Well, I don't know. I don't care. Don't care, mate.
Time is lost on me. I don't even have a calendar, you know.
Who needs one, mate? I mean, it's all just zooming past already. I'll be dead soon. 55. Looking forward to death.
Don't say that. I'm 65 because fucking hell.
That's my target. 65.
I'm your target.
No. I wouldn't do that, mate. But my target is 65. Then I'm going to pop my mortal coil. I'm off.
You do have a look of a hitman about you.
Obviously, my stage name is Big Lou, which when I started was apt because I was 25 stone, and I've lost 7 stone now, so I'm not changing it. I've had the business cards done. Fuck it, I'll stay.
I just thought you were Big Lou because when we went to the toilet together, I saw you get that hernia out, you know.
You know what? If anyone knows me personally, they'll know that's a load of bullshit because it's tiny, but I have still got 19 stone ramming it in.
Oh, yeah. Big hammer. Little nail. It's all good fun, isn't it?
It's true, mate. It's like a power drill. A very fast ass, ladies.
Well, talking of very fast, that's what you've come here today to educate Mr. Badger on, which is billionaires in space, is it not?
Yeah, them space race pricks with all that money that could save the world, and they're going to just fly about in the fucking atmosphere. No beds, yeah. I've met them.
You met him?
I've met the pair of them. I used to work in private aviation, like Millionaires toy things. So I used to meet loads of famous people. And it was only when we...
Stop you there.
Yes, sir.
Am I right in understanding that aviation is a big place that you keep birds in?
That's an aviary.
Oh.
An aviation is where they keep planes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. In a big house?
In a big house called an hangar.
Hangar?
An hangar.
Hangar.
With massive doors. An hangar. I once crashed a police spotter plane into a hangar door. Honestly, I told the police it was a Pilatus plane, and it was worth £3 million. This plane, yeah. £2 million worth of plane, and £1 million worth of camera, and I towed it into a fucking door. And the boss called me in and said, "I have to ask you, did you do it on purpose?" No, I've been working for the mafia. Get the plane out of the sky. No bed. 35 grand's worth of damage. Get in.
In Mr. Badger's real life, you know, for people that know that I'm not actually a badger, I once imploded a tanker. That was good fun.
What, like a petrol tanker?
Well, it was full of clean, potable water, and I was meant to be pumping it into a reservoir, but I forgot to open a valve, so it just sort of...
So the pressure built up and went like a shit grenade with water instead of fire.
But yeah, wow. But sort of like imploding, so it just sort of... Bloop, like when you crush a can of Coke, it just did that, and everything curled up. And then
Did you get a bollocking?
Oh, I got sacked.
Fucking hell, you only did that once, don't you?
Well, yeah. They weren't happy. Apparently, it was about £85,000 worth of damage.
God, that's more than me. I didn't get a bollocking. The lad who was meant to be watching the wingtip got the bollocking. I was in the clear. I was just towing it, and I wasn't even looking. It was this knobhead who never said anything. So
yeah, that's it. Fuck their fucking problem, innit?
I've probably paid for it in taxes anyway, so
yeah.
I had it back.
So was that Richard Branson's police helicopter or whatever?
No, it was the Greater Manchester Police's plane. Richard Branson had, I don't know if he still has, but this was like 10 years ago. He has what's known as a Falcon 900 plane, and on, you know, you sometimes get a logo on the tail of a plane. Yeah. This is how fucking vain he is. It was his eye. It was like a 6 foot, his own eye, like a 6 foot by 5 foot eye on this tail. This big blue eye. That was his eye. You can Google it if you want.
It could have been his big brown eye. That could have been.
It wasn't his eye. I mean, no. That'd have been like a shitty vortex, wouldn't it? His eye. You get sucked into it. What a wanker.
Oh dear.
And then the other fella, you know, the other one who invented PayPal, Elon Musk, the Tesla man.
Yes.
He came in, right, and his plane was a Falcon 900 as well. And so nobody knew when it said Elon Musk on the manifest, because I used to do eBay and all that and PayPal. I knew who he was. So I said, you know who this is? This is a guy that invented PayPal. And then I Googled his plane, and his plane was in a film called Thank You for Smoking.
Oh, I know the film, yeah.
It's a good film, actually. It's quite a good film, actually. So he bankrolled that film. He's like the executive producer, and they used his plane in it. So I'm reading this minutes before this plane arrives. When the plane arrives, we get it on chocks. The door opens, and the captain, proper American, "Hi, Manchester, dickhead." Right? He stood there, and I said, "It's nice to see a real film star." And he went, "What do you mean?" And I said, "This plane was in Thank You for Smoking." And as soon as I said that, Elon Musk appeared at the door, like dead excited. He went, "Oh, have you seen it?" I went, "Oh, what a film. What a film. What a bullshitter." And that was it. He was dead excited then. He wanted to talk to me about the film. And I've not even fucking seen it. I just read it 2 minutes earlier. You know what I mean? That it was in it.
But
you've actually had, I said, "Oh, it was great."
You've actually had a chat with Elon Musk.
I did. We had about 5 minutes, yeah, and it was all bullshit on my part because he was saying, "What about the bit in the gymnasium?" I'm going, "Oh, that was good." Fucking no idea. Do you know what I mean?
Although he was probably making it up. He was like, "What about that bit when the dinosaur flew the plane?"
Yeah,
and you're going, "Yeah."
He's probably not even seen it. He's probably got that much money. He just said, "Yeah, here's 10 million, make a film," you know. But,
I remember there was a chat between another multi-billionaire wanker, which what's his name? The one that made Facebook. What's his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
That's it, Zuckerberg. Apparently, them two were at a very swanky party, and they got a bit bored because there wasn't much going on. So they met together and they said, like, "Look, what about we do a bet for $100,000? We have $50,000 each. We've got 2 hours. Whoever can do the stupidest bloody thing going, the most ridiculous, outlandish thing, the other one gives them $100,000." And they went like, yeah, that's cool. So Elon Musk ordered to be delivered within the next hour or so a jetpack and I think it was some sort of like paint gun or something. And he said what they were going to do was fly up in the air and shoot like paint guns at each other. And they were like, yeah, that's quite stupid. And he went, what have you done? Because he was just there with nothing. And he said, I've told this waiter, and there was a young lad, about 18 years old, so I told him I'll give him £50,000 if he lets me kick him unconscious. So that shows you the level of care from Mark Zuckerberg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about use your people. What a knob.
That's it. But apparently, Elon Musk did have some standards because he said, I think I'm going to have to pull out of the bet. I'm sorry, Mark.
That sounds like trading places when the whole thing was over a $1 bet.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm surprised it was that much. I thought it might have been like £1 or something. I'll do it for £1 coin.
Yeah. But
too much money.
I'd probably let somebody kick me unconscious for 50 grand. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, that's that conversation, isn't it? What would you do for £1 million? I mean, what would you shove up your bum for £1 million and stuff like that? It wouldn't even, it's 50 quid. I mean,
that's it. I've had worse
my rates are proper low. I mean, yeah. That's always the thing when the MC's on a gig and they say, "What do you do?" "I work in A&E." And then our first question is always, "What's the weirdest thing you found up someone's bum?" And I remember once it was a sherry schooner. You know them sherry glasses?
Yes.
And it was intact as well. Fucking hell. I mean,
yeah.
What a party that was.
I suppose the weirdest one would be, what's the weirdest thing you found up someone's bum? And they go, "Me own cock." That'd probably be
What a staff do that was.
Well, talking of that, there's a new middle section to Mr. Badger's show, and this ties in perfectly. It's called Mr. Badger's Corner of Love. And so what I do is I get a guest on, such as yourself, and either people write in with questions or I ask the guest a question. And today, my question would be, have you ever been a member of the Mile High Club?
I once had a wank on a Ryanair. Does that count? No, I'm not. And I've just watched a film as well about a sex addict called Choked with Sam Rockwell. And his sex addiction started on a plane. And apparently, people who enjoy sex on a plane will go into the toilet and strip off and just sit there and wait. And then someone comes along to use the toilet and they're faced with a naked woman or naked bloke. And you've got a split second then to decide if you're going to jump on or just wait. And that's what happened to him. He opened the doors, a woman sat there and he shagged her on the plane. And I'm like, wow, never happens to me. She was, granny trying to put her knickers on backwards, you know what I mean?
Well, I've done similar, but this is not for sex. Mine is, if I'm ever in the toilet, sometimes I get a bit warm and I do have to take my top off because I start sweating. So they wouldn't want to have sex with me. The room would just smell of shit and vinegar. So it's just...
I remember seeing a program a while ago and it was about people who've got like weird habits, and one of them was a chauffeur that whenever he went to the toilet, he had to take all his clothes off to use the toilet. He'd have to fold his clothes in a certain way with his shoes on top, and then he'd sit down and have a shit.
Is that just because he didn't want to get any muck on him or anything like that?
I'm guessing so, but there's more chance of getting shit on your clothes if you put them on the floor while you have a shit. You know what I mean?
I'd probably just stop eating cheese. That's probably the main
Just go
one,
before you leave the house, you dickhead.
Yeah. Or have a special bag fitted, sort of like a colostomy bag, but just attached to your arsehole.
Yeah, that'd be good. I've had a front bag before. That was fun. I used to hang out the window while I was driving on the motorway with the tap open and say to the kids, "Look, I'm peeing on the motorway at 70 miles an hour."
Was that for an operation or something? Or?
Yeah, I had a blockage in my urethra. It was fucking horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But I've had a few operations on it. Yeah, still tiny though. I think that's happened. What it was urethra's like a straw. And what they do is it collapsed in the middle. So what they do is they cut either side of the collapse and then stretch it and put it together. So now I've had it done 5 times. So now my straw is like a piece of fucking wire, copper wire.
Does that mean you got a dick like a concertina?
No, but my flow is terrible. It's like a dripping tap.
Bloody
if
hell.
ever I'm at a gig and I say I just need the toilet, I'm not even had a poo. I've been 10 minutes. I mean, it's like a dripping tap. It's awful. What I'd give for a peak flow penis.
Wow. What a lovely corner of that one.
If anyone's eating, enjoy yourself, you know what I mean? And Viagra doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. I mean,
for the younger people out there, that's something to look forward to.
When you're 55, you'll feel my pain.
Yeah, that's it. They slash your dick open and you can't piss properly.
And your balls go about this big as well. I woke up from the operation once and I didn't want to look, and I just pulled the sheets back and I was like, I went, "What's up with me balls?" She went, "It's okay, they'll go down." I said, "Good, because I'll never walk again." Fucking massive.
Could be the last thing that does go down from the fucking sounds of things.
Yeah. Here's one for you as well. This is true. The first time I had the operation, I'd been to a school reunion about 6 months before, and a proper psycho girl turned up at the school reunion who took an unhealthy interest in me. But she terrified me. She was off her head. So I had this operation and I woke up and she was at the end of the bed. I thought I was dreaming. And she was at the end of the bed and I went, "What are you doing here?" And she went, "I saw your name on the sheet and I thought I'll come in and see you." And I'm like, and she knows what I've done, you know what I mean? She knows how delicate it is down there. So she came in, she pulled the sheet off and she went, "Oh, let's change this catheter." Oh my God. I mean, I was like misery. I thought she was going to kill me. I shit myself, you know what I mean? So anyway, so we're engaged now. No, we're not.
So what was she doing in the hospital in the first place?
Oh no, she's a nurse. Yeah, she's not like a fucking welder who was just passing by. You know what I mean? She works in that hospital and she just happened to see my name on these notes and she went, "Oh, I know him. I'm going to say hello."
Fuck it. That's what I said. I just thought a random person walked into the hospital and changed your catheter.
I should have mentioned that at the start, really. Yeah, she did work there. You know what I mean? So, fucking hell. Just couldn't happen to anyone else. You know what I mean?
No, that's it. Have you ever had any urinary problems on one of your aeroplane missions then, or whatever it is?
No. I tell you what, though, now, stand up, the number of times I've been at the gig and I'm behind the stage, so you can't go anywhere, and I'm needed a piss, and I thought, shit, I can't go now because it'll take ages. And then I think, you know what, there's a pint pot there. No one's going to come in because he's on stage. So I've had a piss in a pint pot before now, you know what I mean? And then forgot to move it. I mean, so God knows if anyone's been drinking my piss at gigs. If you have, I'm sorry. I mean,
if it's only like a dripping tap, you can probably just do it on stage and nobody notice. You could just blame condensation or something.
Well, you know what? Yeah, what I would give to have that fucking bag back on, that honestly, they're great. Strap it to your leg, don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Dude, so, that does sound like a dream. That'd be lovely. That
honestly, it was great. I miss it.
Well, tonight we've managed to. No.
Oh, she's here. That nurse just walked through my door. Get out, you fucking weirdo.
Oh dear. Well, so I suppose before we end the podcast, Lewis, I suppose we should find out some more things about your weird and wonderful world of billionaires and space/aeroplanes.
Well, what I do is when I'm emceeing, because you know yourself, sometimes you've got your set stuff, you don't want to do that when you're emceeing. You need to introduce a bit of a conversation. So I do a thing with the audience where I say we play celebrity top trumps, because I have met literally everybody, Muhammad Ali, all the politicians, presidents, everything. And I'll say, who's the most famous person you met? And a lad the other day, I looked at him and I said, who's the most famous person you ever met? And he thought about it and he went, the Queen. And I went, I've met the Queen. What was your story? He went, I met her in London. I said, whereabouts? And he went, Buckingham Palace. I said, fucking hell, that's impressive. You met the Queen at Buckingham Palace. Whereabouts were you? He went, through the gate. Well, you didn't fucking meet her, did you? You saw her through a gate in the distance, you knobhead. You know what I mean? So mine, the Queen was flying into Manchester to drop off Prince Philip, obviously before he was dead, not like in a box.
Yeah.
He was getting dropped off and picked up by the former racing driver, Jackie Stewart. They were going to Alton Park for whatever. This is about 15 years ago. So I knew that when I had to go on the plane after he'd gone to give the flight crew their weather and their flight plan. And I knew the Queen was over there. She was on the right when I got on the plane. I'm like, don't look at the Queen, Lewis. Just fucking ignore her. It's the Queen. Just ignore her. Go left. Give the crew the paperwork. Step backwards. Turn around. Go down the steps. So I goes up the steps. Didn't look right. I looked straight left. Stepped in. Give the crew the paperwork and the flight plan and said, right, have a good flight. I'll see you again. And as I stepped back, I fucking couldn't resist it. And I turned and she was sat there in a pale blue skirt, jacket, hat, matching handbag on her knee. And she looked at me and I went, all right, Chuck. All right, Chuck, to the Queen. You know what I mean? What a knob. That's the most northern thing anyone has ever done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just called the Queen Chuck and walked off. Thought, what a knob. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, there's probably people that have called her worse.
Yeah, at least I smiled when I said it. And she just stared at me like, what the fuck has he just said?
Yeah. I suppose the only thing is, whatever you do now, don't go into a tunnel in Paris.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'll end up on the radio, on the dashboard. On
Yeah.
The seat. Yeah, I know the one.
On the fucking road, yeah. So,
I said that, where was you when Princess Diana died? And I said, riding a motorbike, taking pictures. Fucking no sense of humour, some people.
You've been an ideal guest for the Mr. Badger podcast, I think.
Proper scum. Proper
Yeah,
scum from Manchester.
Before you go as well, I do want to ask, because it's Big Lou, you said your name is, isn't it?
It is, yeah, Big Lou. Even though the LOU is spelt wrong, but I just... The private reg was 800 quid, and if it was LEW, so I thought, fuck it, it's LOU.
So you changed your name because of a number plate?
Yeah, I used to be called XTC449M.
Android, like my phone. So Big Lou, what have you got going on at the moment? Because I know you book for a comedy club up in Hull, don't you?
I do, yeah. I'm doing that not next weekend. I'm emceeing that all weekend. And then I've got some sportsman's dinners coming up. I've got some local gigs coming up. I've looked at my diary and I've got nothing left for December already. And I'm also, during the weekend days and the days leading up to Christmas Eve, I'm being Father Christmas at Hull, and Sam Harland is being my little helper elf.
What's he doing?
So
changing your piss bag?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's his main job, yeah. Look, children, smell it, smell it! Don't believe in mince pies out. I've got diabetes type 2, so just leave some fucking crisps out.
They go to sit on your lap and you're like, no, not that neat!
Yeah, not allowed. Not allowed, mate. You know what I mean? Fucking hell.
Well, so if anybody does want to find your comedy or anything like any gigs you do in the area, is it like a website or Facebook?
Yeah, I've got biglou.co.uk, and I've also got Big Lou Comedy on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. But I don't travel further than Birmingham because I fucking hate Southerners. So Birmingham is the south for me.
Yeah.
Anything below that, it's like, no, I'm not going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I probably go up to Newcastle, and then because they're northerners, they're sound. You know what I mean? But
you're the sort of person who'd be happy in like a Mad Max dystopian future.
Yeah. killing Southerners. I mean, I don't mind Southerners. That's just a northern bit of banter.
Yes, that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
It's been lovely having you on, Lewis, and
Absolute pleasure, mate. And continued success for yourself as well, mate.
well, as you say, I'm probably near the end of my days, so I don't think there's much continuation to go. But
Got loads of legs, of legs, mate.
Well, 4. That's. Anyway,
just keep escaping them calls, mate. Keep well.
Yes, it's not going too well in Shropshire. Say goodbye to the boys and girls, Lewis.
Goodbye, everybody. Take care, except those in the south.
Yes. Bye bye.